Hi, this is Sujoy here. I'm from the batch of 1990, so it's about 30 years back that I passed out from the institute. When I passed out from the institute, I never thought that I'll have to manage a HR environment which is marked by the pandemic COVID-19. We never envisaged that we'll be going this sort of a crisis across the world. COVID-19 has changed the way the world thinks, operates, behaves. Nations have undergone millions of loss of lives. Their economies have shut down. People don't know what to do next. India is nothing better. Our nation, our society, our organizations all have got impacted by this unprecedented health emergency. I don't think we had factored for it in our business continuity plans of various organizations. We never thought of a pandemic hitting us. We never experienced the Spanish flu or even the Great Depression of the early 20th century. Therefore, we did not know from middle of March what hit us. When we got locked down into our rooms, into our homes, and we were all expected by respective organizations to suddenly work from home. For employees in the organized sector, they knew they had to follow certain protocols which their organizations defined and expect them to adhere to. But the worst hit was the unorganized sector, especially in the MSME segment, where workers suddenly lost jobs. The daily wage earners came on the streets with their families. And now we see them walking down the highways, going back to their native villages without knowing what the future is all about. In the organized sector, the work from home was also a new concept for most of the organizations and its employees. So we had to take some time to understand what meant working from home and how do we ensure that our commitments to our objectives remain the same. We were taken aback, to be honest, and I was taken aback personally. How do I manage this? How do I manage this work from home? What does it mean? A lot of people thought that it was helping with the household chores and doing your work. Yes, because maids stopped coming, so the husband or the spouse, to be precise, had to put in their efforts to keep the household going. So there was a balancing thing which the employees had to do at home, live up to their organizational commitments and also live up to the domestic demands of running the household. Now, we did not expect it will go on for 50 plus days because we were not prepared. We didn't know what was coming our way. So as the days went by, I think all of us got restless. We all wanted to go back to office. We wanted to go back to a familiar social environment of the organization where we also had friends amongst our colleagues and where we also exchanged ideas, exchanged thoughts and exchanged some happy moments together. But that's not going to happen very soon. Friends, we have got to get used to the new style of working, the new protocol of working. And as HR professionals, that's going to be a huge challenge. And as people who are passing out of the institute in 2020 and 2021, you're actually getting into a world which is post-COVID or after COVID, as we call it. So the world is now demarcated into two segments, before COVID and after COVID. The way the world worked before COVID has undergone a paradigm shift, a radical change in the post-COVID era. We will have to manage our employees in a different way. For employees, it may mean lesser travel time to the office because if they work from home, so they get more time to spend on their mental and physical wellness, focus on themselves. And for employers, it means a large part of the expenses of the operating costs and infrastructure, air conditioning, transportation would now undergo change, would be reduced, and environment will be much happier and cleaner because less number of cars on the streets, less number of buses. But there has to be a balance somewhere. Now, if we look at working from home, for the white-collar employees, I wouldn't say it's relatively simpler, but we have to do it for the white-collar employees. Have rotational shifts, have a limited number of people attending office, maintaining the norms of social distancing. And we'll have to ensure that the people working from home follow certain basic discipline and protocol. But it's also important to manage their mental well-being because they'll be working in a virtual environment without seeing their colleagues, without talking to them, without meeting them. So how do they adjust to this mental change? How do they adjust to this working from an environment which they call home and which they are not tuned to as accepting as an office? So how do they balance this? So a lot of stress related issues might come up, and we HR professionals have to be geared up to support our employees in this virtual environment. But the blue collar workers, people who work in the manufacturing sector, we cannot ask them to stop production. Production cannot happen from home. So new manufacturing norms will come up. People on the shop floor will have new manufacturing protocols, maintaining the protocols of social distancing. So you'll call for a different set of line managers who have to have a different mindset of ensuring safety, health, and well-being of the employees, at the same time ensuring that the productivity norms are not compromised. So do we recalibrate the number of people working in shifts? Do we reduce the working hours in shifts? How do we manage this? It's a huge challenge. We are still grappling for those answers. We don't know. So the manufacturing environment is also searching how to reboot the economy now that the various companies have to kickstart, have to get back to operations. So how do we run them? How do we run the economy and bring it back to normal steam? I think now the time has come for all of us to put on our thinking caps and look at how do we manage the new normal organizational environments where the organization culture will take a new form and shape, whereas the values of the organization have to be adhered to, because the values are actually what is the glue for any organization, and we cannot compromise on the values. So now you'll have two sets of employees, some working from home, some working on the field, some working on the manufacturing shop floor. Keeping people in this, various types of people in the same ecosystem, how do we keep them engaged as part of one organization? That's going to be a challenge for managers and especially for HR people. So with this challenge, with the exciting times ahead, exciting because I'm saying this because the uncertainty brings about the excitement. I wish you all the best. Take care of yourselves, take care of your families, take care of the society, take care of the organizations, and let's all take care of our nation together. Thank you so much.